Welcome back, Warner fam. Today, I'll recap a chilling horror action film, I Spit on Your Grave 2, so keep your eyes wide open and stay safe. The movie starts with Katie, an aspiring model from Missouri, working as a waitress in New York City. She's desperate to update her modeling portfolio, so she answers an ad for free professional photos. Katie meets 3 Bulgarian siblings, Ivan, who claims to be a photographer, and his brothers, Nikolai and Georgi, who act as his assistants. At first, everything seems normal, but things take a dark turn when Ivan pushes her to take a topless shot. Katie refuses and leaves. Later, Georgi, who had seemed overly interested in her, shows up at her apartment. What happens next is terrifying. He binds, gags, and brutally assaults her. Just when you think it might stop, her neighbor Jason comes to help, but it's too late. Georgi stabs him, forcing Jason to witness Katie's suffering before he dies. Then Georgi's brothers arrive, and they drug Katie with ketamine, leaving her unconscious. When Katie wakes up, she's in a nightmare. She's stripped naked, handcuffed to a rusty pipe, and lying on a filthy mattress in a dark, cold basement. The 3 brothers show her no mercy. They gang up on her and torture her non-stop, but Katie doesn't give up. She fights back, and when she overpowers Georgi, she makes a run for it. When she finally gets outside, she's hit with a shocking truth. She's not in New York anymore. The brothers took her all the way to their home country, and now she's trapped in Sofia, Bulgaria. Katie stumbles to the nearest police station, desperate for help. She tells her story to a detective named Kirill, who seems to listen carefully. He introduces her to Anna, a kind-looking woman who claims to be from a rape crisis center. Katie thinks she's finally safe. She asks Anna to take her to the American embassy, hoping to find a way home. But instead of the embassy, Anna takes her to a house. Something feels wrong. Before Katie knows it, she's trapped again. This house of horror is no safe place. It's another nightmare. Anna is actually the mother of Nikolai and Georgi. She's cruel and enjoys Katie's suffering. Katie is dragged back to the dark basement. Things get worse when Valko, an old family friend, shows up. He tortures Katie with a taser and then brutally assaults her, leaving her bloody and broken. Just when she thinks it's over, Ivan comes down and beats her even more. Katie is trapped in a wooden box, terrified and struggling to breathe. The brothers bury her alive, tossing in Valko's taser and her crucifix necklace. Just when all hope seems lost, the ground beneath the coffin suddenly collapses. Katie falls through, landing in the dark, slimy sewers below. Naked, hungry, and alone, she has nowhere to go. Desperate for survival, she sneaks into a nearby church and steals food. One day, she gets caught by Father Dimov, a kind priest. He sees the pain in her eyes and understands what she's been through. Instead of turning her away, he offers her food, clothes, and even gives her a Bible, hoping to help her heal. Katie is next seen standing outside the US Embassy. She stares at the building, but something inside her holds her back. Instead of going in, she walks away. Later, she returns to the church. Father Dimov is there, waiting. He gently tells her that he knows what she's been through and offers his support. But Katie doesn't say much. She just takes the Bible he gave her and heads back to the dark sewers. Before leaving, Katie opens the Bible and places it where Dimov can find it. When he reads the passage she left open, it clicks. He realizes Katie isn't looking for peace. She's planning revenge against the monsters who hurt her. Katie starts her plan for revenge by sneaking back into Anna's house. She steals a stash of money, careful not to get caught. With the cash, she buys clothes, weapons, and supplies, everything she needs to strike back. Her first target is Georgi. She follows him to a cafe and secretly drops her crucifix into his coffee, leaving a chilling message. Georgi doesn't know what's coming. Katie lures him into the sewers, where the real nightmare begins. She catches him by surprise, grabbing him and tying his arms to the wall. She doesn't hold back. With a sharp pocket knife, she tortures him, cutting deep and cruel, but she takes it even further, smearing filthy sewer waste into his wounds. Infection sets in, and she leaves him there, suffering. It's a slow, painful end, just like the one he gave to Jason. Meanwhile, Father Dimov knows Katie's path is dangerous. He reaches out to Detective Kirill, hoping to stop her before it's too late. Kirill realizes Katie is still in deep trouble and needs help. Both men team up, determined to find her. They don't just want to save her from danger, they want to save her from herself. They believe justice can be served the right way, and they hope they can convince Katie before she loses herself completely. That evening, Katie tracks Nikolai to a crowded nightclub. She watches him closely, waiting for the perfect moment. When he isn't looking, she slips ecstasy into his drink. Soon, the drug kicks in, and Nikolai stumbles to the bathroom, dizzy and confused. Katie follows him in, her eyes filled with cold determination. Before he can react, she attacks, forcing his head into a filthy toilet. She holds him down, drowning him in the disgusting water. He gasps for air, but she doesn't let up, shoving him deeper into the mess. The nightmare he put her through is now his own. The next day, during a church service, Valko spots Katie lurking in the shadows. His eyes narrow, and he bolts after her. She leads him through a door and down into the basement. Just as he catches up, she strikes him hard with a rock, knocking him out cold. When Valko wakes up, he's strapped tightly to a bed. Panic fills his eyes. Katie stands over him holding a taser. Without a word, she presses it to his genitals. The same cruel way he had tortured her. His screams echo through the basement. Then, she shoves an electrical cable into his mouth. Katie doesn't hesitate. She sends a powerful shock through the wire, electrocuting him. The current surges, and Valko's body jerks violently. This time, the pain is his to suffer, until it ends for good. Anna returns home to find her house broken into. She doesn't get a chance to figure out what's missing. Katie is waiting. Before Anna can react, Katie shoves her through the broken floor, sending her crashing down into the dark sewers below. Anna is trapped, bound inside a box. Katie forces her to watch as Georgie slowly dies from the infection she caused. The pain and fear in Anna's eyes are just beginning. Meanwhile, Ivan discovers the broken ground, and the horrifying truth hits him. Katie is still alive and she's coming for him. Before he can escape, she captures him, dragging him into the shadows. She ties him tightly to a table, leaving no way out. Katie's revenge isn't over. She looks him in the eyes and then tortures him, crushing his testicles without mercy. Now the pain he once gave is the pain he must endure. Meanwhile, Detective Kirill hears Ivan and Anna's screams echoing through the sewers. He follows the sounds, knowing something terrible is happening. As Katie tortures Ivan, he finally breaks and starts talking. He reveals that Anna is his stepmother and that she was once the victim of his late father. Even worse, Anna had married the man who had raped her. Nikolai and Georgie were the results of those terrible crimes. Katie begins to understand the true depth of Anna's evil. She realizes Anna has no morals, no conscience, just a cold, sadistic nature. Just as Katie is about to end both their lives, Kirill arrives at the scene. He pulls out his gun, pointing it at Katie, but before he can act, Ivan suddenly grabs Katie from behind and begins to strangle her. Without hesitation, Kirill fires, shooting Ivan in the head. Katie is free to go, leaving the chaos behind. In the end, Anna is left alone, the last one standing. Kirill arrests her for the terrible things she's done to her family. In the final scene, Katie stands outside the US Embassy, taking a deep breath. She looks up at the building, her eyes focused and determined. Slowly, she begins to walk toward the entrance, one step at a time, but just as she's about to reach the door, the screen suddenly cuts to black. So, which awesome movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below and let's make it happen. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss out on our movie recaps. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Produced by Warner Movie Recaps.